out there. Good morning, CSL. Chico, Inspirational Service, all of you live streamers out there. This is Karen Drucker coming to you. Let me see here. I wonder if I can make my screen bigger. Well, maybe that'll happen in a second. So good morning, everyone. My name is Karen Drucker. I'm coming to you here this morning. There I am. How are you? Oh, I just love all this technology. It's so fun. So how are you, CSL live streamers out there in the world? How are you doing this morning? So I'm thrilled to be with you. I was with you a while ago, and you know, it was great to be with you on Zoom, but I'm holding just that consciousness that I'm going to be with you in person at some point. But today I'm going to give you some songs, give you a message about kindness, and I hope you'll just sit back and just have a good old time. So repeat after me. Are you ready? There's going to be instructions here today. You're going to be doing stuff with me today. We're going to be dancing, everything. I am a center for spiritual living, and I love Mother Earth. Okay, that's what you're saying. Say it with me now. I am a center for spiritual living, and I love Mother Earth. So this morning, I want you to sing with me, okay? So, you know, I'm very into when we have a song that starts our day in a good way, it just sets the consciousness for the whole day. So this is my magic wand that says that you can sing, okay? So I'm going to teach you this. It's very easy. See, no one's going to even hear you, so it's okay. You can sing off key. It doesn't matter. So let me start this off. What do I want my day to be? I choose. That's the crux of my message, actually. And what do I want to feel today? I choose. And who do I want to be today? I choose. It's up to me to choose. And I choose. I choose. Okay, you ready? Get up, start moving, start dancing. I know it's early in the morning, but you can do it. And stretch and flex and stretch and flex. All right, it goes like this. Today, I choose to be grateful, so grateful today. I choose to be grateful, grateful. There you go. Here we go. Today, I choose to be grateful, so grateful today. I choose to be grateful, grateful. How about happy? Today, I choose to be happy, so happy today. I choose to be happy. What about peaceful? I want that. Today, I choose to be peaceful, so peaceful today. I choose to be peaceful, peaceful. Here's the deal. Whatever I choose is how my day is gonna be. I claim what I want, 'cause it's all up to me. Today, I choose loving, to be loving to yourself, to everyone else. Today, I choose to be loving. How about joyful? Today, I choose to be joyful, so joyful today. I choose to be joyful. Now, I want you to pick your own word. Today, think about what quality you want. I choose, what is it? To be. Today, I choose, what's your word? Da-da. Pick another word. Today, happy, present, abundance. What is it? Today, I choose to be. Good job. Whatever I choose is how my day's gonna be. Claim what I want, 'cause it's all up to me. It's all up to me. Today, I choose to be thankful. to be grateful, so grateful today. I choose to be grateful, grateful, to be grateful, grateful, to be grateful, grateful, big finish, to be grateful, grateful. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about right there. Big applause. Okay, so, I'm just going to amuse myself this morning. So look at that beautiful affirmation that's on your screen right now. Why don't you just take that in and read that with me. Divine light radiates through me as I exercise my spiritual essence of love and peace. Let's do that again, shall we? Divine light radiates through me as I exercise my spiritual essence of love and peace. That was written by Sandy Golke. And so it is. Actually, keep that up for a second. Divine light radiates through me as I exercise. Wait a minute. Divine light radiates through me as I exercise my spiritual essence of love and peace. And so it is. Essence of love and peace. And so it is. That's beautiful. Beautiful graphics, too. Thank you for that. So today, announcements. Let me tell you what's happening at this wonderful community. Oh, my goodness. I wish I was up there with you. So here it is. Here's the deal. Today is the annual community meeting. It's going to be on Zoom. It's at noon. What do you have to do? You know, you need to be at this meeting. You know why? Because this is where you'll be voting on the revised bylaws and a new budget. Very important. And that's going to take us forward into the stewardship. So we'll take that forward, and we're going to be looking at the Stewardship Council in 2021. So you don't want to miss this, because looking at the bylaws and the budget, you don't want to be one of those people going, I didn't know they were doing that. So this is the place to be if you want to be voting on that and be part of this wonderful community. Because that's the thing, you know, even though we're not together, that what I'm noticing is that when a community comes together on Zoom and keeps that activation of your membership in this community, it just keeps it going. And you know, I know of so many people that are that much more committed to their church, even though they're not going physically to the location anymore. You know, we'll get back there, but I think that that's really important, that you show up at these meetings and you keep this community going and show your love and support. So I advise you to do that. Let's go into a meditation now. No, this is going to be a little different, the way that I do my meditations, because I like singing my meditations. So we're gonna do a meditation today that is a little different. This is my loving kindness meditation, and right now I'm going to ask all of the practitioners to surround this community in consciousness, so that you literally can feel this bubble of that circle around you of these wonderful practitioners in your community, praying for you, holding the high watch, just holding that space. So what I'd like you to do right now is take everything off your laps. If you're drinking your coffee, just stop for a few minutes. And my message today is going to be all about kindness. And my main point that I'm going to make is that it starts with you. And it's going to start right now in this meditation, because this is a loving kindness meditation, a metta meditation that is really about filling up your cup first. And when you do that, when you come from that well that is filled, you are able to give it off, give that love and that kindness to other people. So I'm going to teach this to you. The words are simply, may I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. So let's sing that once, and I'll show you how this goes. Just take a deep breath with me right now. Just kind of shake your body a little bit, get present. It goes like this. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. Got it? Let's sing it again. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. So close your eyes right now. Put your hand on your heart. And I want you to direct that energy to the area of your heart and generate feelings of loving kindness towards yourself, compassion, acceptance, love, empathy. Just for this moment, give yourself that break. Take a little break from your inner critic and just generate those feelings of love to yourself and sing to yourself, may I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. Take a deep breath. Now picture someone you have strong feelings towards. It could be a family member or friend. Feel your heart open as you picture them in your mind's eye. Picture their little sweet face and direct this loving energy to them as you say, may you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. Take a deep breath. Now I'm going to challenge you a little bit this morning. I want you to imagine someone you might be having a little issue with. Someone that you might consider a difficult person. Someone who might push your buttons a little bit. And as much as you can, open your heart to them. You're not doing full acceptance of everything they do or who they are. You're just opening your heart just a little bit. So to the degree that you feel able, direct that energy to them and say, may you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. Take a deep breath. Now let's think about bringing loving kindness to all beings. It could be even the furry friends in your life, doggies and kitties. But think about people in your community, in your state, in this state of California that we're living in. But send some loving kindness to the folks in Texas right now. People that are suffering around the world, that are having a hard time. And extend affection without any boundaries. And just say, may you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. Now I want you to put your hands back on your heart, because we're going to start with my talk all about, it starts with you first. So let's go back there for a moment and let's make it an affirmation saying, I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful. I am peaceful and at ease. And I am happy. Just that last line. And I am happy. And you're allowed to tell your face this idea. You can and smile. And I am happy. So take a deep breath. And allow yourself to just wiggle your fingers and toes for a moment and just come back. Come back to the room. Nice to be with you this morning. So are you ready? Ready for my talk? All right, let's see here. Let me see what number is it. 16. All right, here we go. My religion is kindness. My church is nature. My God is a feeling that lives deep inside. My job is to be conscious. My path is forgiveness. My religion is kindness. I practice it every day. Now everyone has a story and everyone has pain. When we strip away our masks, we find that we're really all the same. It's those little things we say and do that can mean so much. It's a smile, a connection, simple love and touch. My religion is kindness. Sing with me now. My church is nature. My job is a feeling that lives deep inside. My job is to be conscious. My path is forgiveness. My religion is kindness. I practice it every day. Every day. Now, today I'm gonna ask myself, what more can I do? What can I do now? To be a radiant child of God and let my love show through. I'm gonna let my heart be my guide to give the best of me. I'm gonna share my love, share my joy, give it boundlessly. My religion is kindness. My church is nature. My God is a feeling that lives deep inside. My job is to be conscious. That's a job. My path is forgiveness. My religion is kindness. I practice it every day. Every day. Don't you normally have kazoos on a Sunday morning? And it matches my outfit, you know. Went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown. Jill came running after. He said, Jack, tell me, what can I do to help ease your mind? He said, hold my hand and just be kind, and oh, I'll be fine. Religion is kindness. My church is nature. My God is this feeling that lives so deep inside. My job is to be conscious. My path is forgiveness. My religion is kindness. I'm going to practice it every day. Every day. My religion is kindness. And my church is a nature. My God is a feeling. Lives so deep inside. My job is to be conscious. My path is forgiveness. My religion is kindness. I practice it every day. Every day. My religion is kindness. I'm going to practice it every day. My religion is kindness. And I'm going to practice, so will you join me in practicing that? Every day. Every single day. That's what I'm going to say right now. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Good job. Thank you so much. You love that. You know you're desperate when you have one of these and you play it whenever you walk into your room. This is my applause button. I said to a friend of mine, it's so sad. I do these songs and no one's applauding me anymore, and so she sent this to me. So anyway, my religion is kindness, and I practice it. I practice it every day. So what does that mean? I practice it every day. Well, what it means for me is that I start my day in a state of consciousness. I practice this, to be in a state of consciousness that allows me to come into this world when I leave my house, or actually even before I leave my house, to give it to myself, to be in a state of consciousness of kindness. Because I'm telling you, I'm on a mission. I am on a mission with this subject. I really feel like the more we can practice kindness with each other, we are going to heal this divide that is in this country. And I just feel so strongly about that the songs I write and the messages I say, I want it to be about kindness and loving ourselves. But it starts with ourselves. As my song said at the beginning, today I choose to be what? What do you choose to do today? How do you want to feel today? You know, the Dalai Lama said, "This is my religion. There is no need for temples, no need for complicated philosophy. Our own brain, our own hearts are the temple. And that philosophy is kindness." So this is my practice that I do every day. I put my hand over my heart and I ask myself, what do I want to be today? What does my heart have to say? What is my word for the day? And I get that from putting my hand over my heart. And so this is my main practice. I do this every morning. What does my heart have to say? So do that right now with me. Just put your hand over your heart. Take a deep breath. And ask yourself, what does my heart have to say? And let whatever comes up, you know, are you feeling happy? Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling alone? Are you feeling like you need to reach out to someone for help? Are you feeling like you want to extend more kindness to someone and just call them and see how they're doing? You know, you'll just, whatever's there will just pop up sometimes. And sometimes you'll be amazed. It's like, where'd that come from? You know, I know a woman at a church that her spiritual practice every morning is that she calls 20 people from her church and she sings Karen Drucker songs on their machines. So she'll call someone and go, "Hi there, Cindy. Thank you for this day, Cindy. Thank you for this day." Or she'll sing, "I start my day with love." I mean, she'll sing all my little chants to them. And people have said to me, they when I went to the church, they said, "You've got to meet this woman who does this." And they said, they just know. You just don't answer your phone in the morning because it's Margaret, you know, calling you up and singing to you. But that's her practice of kindness every day. And people love it. And she's known for being the kindness lady at her church. So a few ideas, a few examples of kindness that are happening in the world right now. And did you know that it's International Kindness Week this week? Just found that out. So another reason to be especially kind, because it's like we're all declaring this right now. But I found some of these stories I'd like to share with you that I just think, you know, they just remind us of what can be, and especially in these times right now where with the pandemic and with all of the stuff that's going on, to hear stories like this, it just brings me back to center and goes, oh yeah, I can do that too. So I found out about a story about a 4-year-old girl in Belgium, excuse me, that when she found out about the pandemic and that people in her town, in her small town in Belgium, were not having any communication with people. They weren't seeing anyone. She decided it was her job to write them letters every day, make them little drawings, write letters every day to them, and deliver it to their, you know, to their house. And this was her way of being kind. And so at one point she said to her mom, you know, I'm delivering these letters like a postman, and it just doesn't feel official enough. I need to have a whole outfit to say to these people, I'm official. I'm not just, you know, your friend down the street. I'm official. I'm an official kindness carrier, and I need an outfit. Well, her mother was like, what do I do? So she wrote to the local post office and said, you know, is there any way you can help me with this request from my daughter? So they got together, and someone made her an outfit, and they outfitted her with a little satchel and everything. Can you see this? Her name is Luna. And she now is delivering these letters like this. And she says that her quote that said in the newspaper, she takes occasional breaks. She takes occasional breaks from the jungle gym, but ends her workday feeling tired but very happy. Isn't that great? And I just found this. This is amazing. You know, the snowstorm that's happening. I mean, all the stuff that's happening in the East Coast and in Texas. And here was a 10-year-old person with a friend who they're going to the hospital. And they're going to this hospital and making it easier for the staff to get home after doing these long hours. And so they are wiping snow off of 80 cars. So they go to the local hospital, and they're just going, and just when they know that someone's coming out, they will run to their car and wipe off all the snow so that that hospital worker can just get right in their car and go home. That's sweet. And I love this. This is another one that, well, I got to say, one of my acts of kindness that I used to do was on the Golden Gate Bridge. You know, I live in San Francisco, and I would pay for the person behind me. And I loved doing that, except for sometimes people would get so wanting so much to thank me that they'd practically ram into my car after going through the toll booth. But I would love it. I would, pay for the person behind me, and it would just make me feel good. Well, so someone did this at the Dairy Queen in Ohio, and someone paid for a woman's meal, and she was just flabbergasted. She had never had anyone do this for her before, and she thought, well, I'm going to do the same thing. And she looked behind her to make sure there wasn't like a busload of, like a football team behind her. But there was just another woman, and she paid for the car. Well, this started off, someone took a picture of this, 900 cars in this one day. It started this chain reaction at the Dairy Queen in Ohio. 900 cars paid for each other's meals that day. But here's the story that touches my heart quite a bit, is that a friend of mine lost his job as a musician, just like me. Last year in March, when this happened, when the lockdown happened, I had a year's worth of gigs in one day. Like, boop, they all went up in smoke. It was like, okay, this is not happening. And everything just kept getting canceled and canceled. But this one friend of mine, I saw him recently at a grocery store, and I was like, oh, wow, what are you doing here? And he was a musician, and all his jobs went up in smoke like mine, but he needed to feed his family, and he needed to figure out right away what he could do. So he looked in the paper, and the only thing he could find that was like immediate was working in a grocery store and being the person who collects the carts and sanitizes them. And he took this job because he was desperate. And at the beginning, he felt completely shameful, just rejected, and felt like, oh my God, what is my life that, I've been this musician for years, and now, this is what I'm doing. And he just felt really depressed. But then one day, a woman came in looking really sad, and he gave her the cart, and he was always nice to people, but he gave her the cart, and he just gave her this really warm smile and said, how you doing today? And this woman, who was kind of like this and hunched over, all of a sudden just like opened up, and she said, wow, thanks for asking. She said, I'm just by myself. I'm not talking to anybody, and I just come out once a week to get my groceries. And you're the first person who's asked me how I really am. And in that moment, you know how you can have a shift in consciousness that is like, that's what miracles are. That's what enlightenment is, like that. It could just be boop, like that. And in that moment, he got that this job was so important, that he was going to be the link for so many people coming in who needed some love and kindness. And so this job became for him this act of love and kindness. And when I talked to him, I saw him the next week, and he was transformed. He said, I love this job. I'm meeting so many people. I'm getting ideas for songs. And I'm like this, this love being, just transmitting love to each person who gets a cart from me. That's kindness. And it's waking up, I think, in that state of saying, what do I want to be? What do I want to give to the world today? Kindness. But as I said before, it starts with us. It starts with us being kind to ourselves. I have a chant that I sing at all my retreats that is so important to me because it's really, it's one of the things I live by, and I have to constantly practice this. I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. You know, then the next, I will be easy on myself. That's a little hard for me sometimes. I will be easy on myself. And I will love myself like a newborn baby child. I mean, to say when that inner critic is coming in, which all of us have, to say, no, I'm going to be easy on myself. You might want to beat me up for something that I just did, but no, I'm going to be gentle and easy on myself. I mean, let me ask you a question. How many of you this morning woke up, went and saw yourself in the bathroom mirror and said, oh my God, did you get more beautiful overnight? Ah, look at this body. Oh my God, look at you, you divine God being of light and love. Look at you. Did you do that? Did ya? Or did you go, oh my God, everything's dropping and my wrinkles? It starts first thing in the morning with how you wake up and the word that you choose and the way that you want to be in the world. And, you know, I think that when we do that, when we are first kind to ourselves, we fill up that teacup. We fill that cup up. And we can give from the overflow. But years ago, I had a fountain. I love this. I love this picture of this. I had a fountain that I didn't fill with water one day. And I was having my coffee in the morning. I'm going, what's that sound? And all of a sudden, I realized the fountain was going... And it was just like making these gasping noises. And in a way, it was perfect because it's like, that's exactly what I'm talking about. When you don't fill up your well, when you are running around and doing things that you don't want to do, when you've said yes when you really want to say no, when you're not giving to yourself first, when you're thinking that giving to yourself is selfish, when you're thinking that I have to make sure everyone's okay and then maybe there's a little bit left over for me, what happens? So all I did was put water in that fountain, and then all of a sudden it was flowing. So look at that idea for yourself. Look at how much you're giving to yourself and how much you're loving yourself. And little story. I love this story. I love telling this story because it's something I'm working on all the time in myself. That I knew of this woman who was a nurse in Kansas, and she was born with cerebral palsy and always had a hard time with her body. Her body just didn't work. She was overweight. She didn't exercise. It was just she had all these issues. And she was diagnosed with, I think, one of the hardest things that can happen to anyone, ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. And if you know of that disease, your body eventually just stops working. And she knew, because she was a nurse, she knew what was going to be happening. And she decided in that moment, before I die, I'm going to love myself and I'm going to love my body. And she made this practice of every single day standing in front of the mirror, naked, and seeing what she loved about her body. Now, when she first started this practice, she couldn't find one thing. And it was just this really excruciating process for her. But she was determined she was going to love herself before she checked out of this world. And the story goes that she did this every day, and eventually she got to a point where she was in a wheelchair. And she's wheeling herself in front of the mirror. And finally one day, it was again one of those light bulb moments where she said, wow, look at my hands. Look at the miracle that my hands still work. And, oh, people have always said that they liked my eyes. And she started to look at the things that she did like about herself. And because it was a practice, it was every day. But eventually that list grew. And she grew in this way of having so much gratitude for herself that believe it or not, she's one of a handful of people. She cured herself of ALS. And because of this, she decided she was going to become a minister and preach about gratitude. And that's what she does. And I was able to meet her at one point. I actually wrote a song about this called I Look Good. And I was at a conference, and she was speaking at it. And it was really amazing to meet her. And her story is amazing. And her name is Evie McDonald. You can look her up. But when I look at a story like that and the inspiration that a story like that brings, it's like, how can you look at yourself and criticize what you look like, who you are, what you do? I mean, we are here to love each other, but we are here to love ourselves first and be kind to ourselves. Because the other thing is that when you are kind to yourself, I believe that you open up your consciousness to be more present and see other people. I love this quote. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. And I love this quote, this little reading, that you never really know the true impact you have on others around you. You never know how much someone needed that smile you gave them. You never know how much kindness turned someone's entire life around. You never know how much someone needed that long hug or a deep talk. Or I'll add to that in this pandemic, just simply checking in and going, how you doing? So don't wait to be kind. Don't wait for someone else to be kind first. Don't wait for better circumstances or for someone to change. Just be kind, because you never know how much someone needed it. So I was in Costco years ago after my mother passed. And for those of you who have had a loss in this way, you know how you can just have these waves come over you. You know, you could be fine, like a month can go by or a year could go by, and you could be fine, but all of a sudden you'll just have a wave. I call them the wave. The wave comes up, you can feel it coming up and like, oh, here it comes. And you just, the waterworks will come, or that feeling will come of missing them, of grief. And one day I was at Costco, and I don't know, I think I was in the toilet paper section or something. And all of a sudden, for who knows what triggered it, but all of a sudden I was like, here comes the wave. And I remember standing there and just going, well, nothing I can do. And it just happened. I just allowed the wave to come over me, and I'm just crying, not bawling or anything. I'm not making a big scene. I'm just stopping, and I'm just allowing the tears to come up. And in that moment, this miracle happened where all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I felt this hand on my shoulder. Just this hand, just kind of tapping me. And I was so in the midst of this, I felt this. But I was just feeling the feeling, and I felt that hand. And it was there for just a moment, and then it went away. And when I collected myself a little bit, I opened my eyes and I looked around, and no one was there. And I realized in that moment that someone had felt me and just came up and said, yeah. Yeah. Been there. Didn't see them. No words were exchanged. It was just that feeling of kindness if someone said, yeah, I feel you. I've been there. Or just simply, I see you. You never know what someone could be going through. And it's taking that time to just be aware of them and reach out. And it can even be, again, those little teeny moments. It can even be something right in your family, right at home that you're not even aware of, that you could have that kindness, that epiphany. I have a friend who got so annoyed, so annoyed at her husband every morning because he would
leave bagel crumbs. He would make his sesame seed bagel. He'd cut it in half, and there'd be the little sesame seeds all over. And she'd come into the kitchen, and she would, like, wanting to get her coffee, and she'd be so annoyed that these bagel crumbs would be all over the place. And she'd say, Jerry, can you just wipe up your bagel crumbs? I'm not asking much. Just wipe up your bagel crumbs. And every morning he would forget. He wouldn't do it. But one morning she came in, and talk about starting your day in a bad way. She came in, she immediately got, angry. And then she had one of those boop moments where she looked at the bagel crumbs and she realized one day those bagel crumbs might not be there. He had been having some health issues, and it just made her realize one day those bagel crumbs might not be there anymore. And so in that moment, again, epiphany, she wiped up the bagel crumbs and never mentioned them again. She just realized in that moment she could be kind to him and kind to herself by being present enough to just realize that he was there. I believe that when we are kind to ourselves, we can be kind to others, and that's what goes out into the world. Maya Angelou said, continue to be who and how you are, to astonish a mean world with your acts of kindness. And Brene Brown said, the way we will make it through this is through connection, because we are hardwired for connection. So I leave you with this little story, one of my favorite stories to tell, about a man who was having lunch by himself, and he noticed an elderly woman coming. She sat down in the booth next to him, and she was all dressed up. She was coiffed. Her little hair was just like all done up, and she had a little carnation here, and she was just dressed up like it was a special occasion. And he just had this immediate hit that he wanted to go up and say something to her and just acknowledge how pretty she was that day. And just as he was doing it, all of a sudden her whole family came in, and the kids kind of bombarded in, and it's like, there were like grandchildren, and this whole big family came. And he immediately stopped. Because one of the things about sharing kindness and doing this is you make yourself vulnerable. You don't know how it will be received. I've done that sometimes where I wanted to buy a cup of coffee for someone, and they look at me like I'm crazy, and I just go, just take the cup of coffee. This is kind of one of my things that I do, but when you make yourself vulnerable, you could be rejected, but it could also be something really sweet. I did that once for someone who said, people don't do this for me. How sweet of you. Thank you. But in this case, he let the moment pass. He finished his lunch. He's getting up. And he walks by, and he looked at her again, and he walked, and he just continued on. But all of a sudden, he got a feeling, and this is one of the things I want to just plant in your mind right now, is he just got a feeling of like, no, go back. And I call these God taps, that you get these little God taps of God saying, there's something else going on here. Go do this. So as much as he felt vulnerable and kind of like, ugh, he came back to the table and said, excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt you. And the whole table kind of stops and looks at him. And he's like, oh, God, what did I do? But he goes, I don't want to interrupt anything. But he said, madam, I just have to say to you, you look really lovely today. And that color brings out your eyes. And I just wanted to say, I just noticed you when you came in, and you just had this really sweet look to you, and you just look really beautiful. And I just wanted to tell you that. And you can go back to your lunch now. I just needed to say that. And he started to walk away, and she said, no, please come back. And she said, I know you. And he said, well, no, you don't know. We've never met before. And she said, no, I do know you on a deeper level. She said, today is the 1-year anniversary of my husband's passing. And this is my family, and they're all here to celebrate me and congratulate me on a full year of making it on my own. And what you said to me is exactly what my husband would have said to me. So you never know. You never know what your words, what your being, how it will impact someone, how it can impact the world. Because this is the main thing I want to leave you with, that I think that we are really here to help each other, especially help each other make it through this time. And we can do that with kindness. Because all we can do is be there for each other in these times when we don't know what to do. All we can do is be there for each other and help each other through. All we can do is be there for each other in these times when we don't know what to do. And all we can do is be there for each other and help each other through. So I'm going to give you homework this week. I want you to think about this. And think of what's the first thing that comes up for you right now as I ask you these questions. So if I were kind to myself this week, what would I do? What would I give to myself? If I were kind to myself this week, what would I do? So just take the first thing that comes up. And then I ask you, if I were kind to someone else this week, what would I do? Again, it could be just a phone call. Maybe it's bringing them some flowers. What is one thing you could do, one small act of kindness you could do for someone this week? Then the last question is, what is one thing you could do for the world, for your community, for something larger than just you and a friend? What is something you could do for the world, for your community, for your church? Because all we can do is be there for each other and help each other through. Yay. Thanks for listening. Yay. Okay, let me get my little notes out here.